Well,
Hey,
good morning. It's been a while.
we're back.
We're back. You guys miss us?
I would hope so.
I hope so.
I would like to think. So it's been since end
It's
of
been
April. I think we missed all of May.
all of
Um,
it.
I missed the lilacs coming out in my back of my house, so that was sad.
Well, that's all you missed. That's
That's
okay.
important. It's
It's
important. I look
important.
forward to those every year.
All right. All right. Well, yeah, it's been a pretty hectic month and a half for both of us, and had to take for personal reasons had to take that time off, and so we're still running the masterminds and still doing everything else, but our live portion had to kind of sit on the wayside for a bit, but we're back, which is great, and
And
it's
sometimes you do. You have to make choices in business. Sometimes life happens and you need to decide sort of where you need to focus your energy. And we have our members and we really needed to be obviously we had to deliver the content that we've promised them, and we kind of went through, and this is the thing that had to pause, not
yeah.
give up, pause for a short period of time.
Yeah, and
So
that's okay. But I guess the lesson here, guys, is it's okay to take off whatever it is. You need to take a month off, you need to take a week off, whatever. But it's like anything, like you have to get back right on it, or you're just going to let it slide and never come back, right? And that's unfortunately, it's like, so I've been, for those of you guys who are following me on Instagram, I've been walking every day, 5K. And today, this morning, we've had air quality issues in Ontario
yes,
because of the
north,
forest
yes.
fires in Quebec, and they're telling you not to do your daily
Outside, yeah.
activities. And so I was in bed, and I was like, I could use that as an excuse,
You
and
could,
not.
absolutely, because they said not to.
They said not to. And then I was like, well, they say a lot of things, but is it true? And I looked outside and I see like it was a beautiful day. It wasn't, there's no real smog. You can smell a little bit of smoke, but not that much. So I just said, you know what? I'm going to go. And if I need to turn back because I don't feel great, I will. But if I'm fine, I'm fine. So I did it. But like, again, it's so easy to slip down that slope. So we could have absolutely said, hey, you know what? We took off the month for hot topics. We'll just keep going and just forget about it. And no, because we know so many of you listen to us and want to see us. And so we jump back on
But we
that
also
whole.
had the conversation because it's also important when you do take that break to reevaluate. Is
Yeah.
it something that you do to make that conscious decision? Is it something you want to continue? Because there is the perfect opportunity to kind of go, you know what, we haven't done it in a month. Is it worth our time? Is
Right.
it worth the effort? Should we continue? Whatever the case may be. And we both said yes, we wanted to continue. So literally it was like, okay, the next Wednesday, we were going to schedule it. So sometimes it's good to take that break because it does kind of force those decisions like, okay, is this something we want to continue? Do we want to do this? Where are our priorities? What do we need to focus on? On that perspective. So sometimes, you know what? And you also realize that the world doesn't come to an end. Because I
Right.
think sometimes people get into the, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. Well, no, you don't. The world is not going to come to an end. You are allowed to take a break. The world will continue. I promise the world will continue.
Yep.
And if you have a fantastic business partner like I do, you know that nothing falls through the cracks. So
Yeah. So everything was good. We did, it was fine. We did what we needed to do, and no problem. I mean, that's just the way it goes, right? So I think, but yeah, I mean, the biggest lesson is even when things, go the wrong way and you're like, okay, we got to pause or we got to change directions. You just have to keep going though. After you can't just grab onto it and use it as an excuse to say, oh, well, I'm not going to do this anymore, because that's very easy to do. It's kind of like the lies that you tell yourself, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like I could have lied to myself today and said, don't go for your walk because the air quality is poor, right? It's a
right.
lie that I told myself. So it's kind of like if you just say, well, you know I haven't done it for a month or 2 months, and it's not, obviously it's not working in my business or whatever. It's just a lie that you're telling yourself, an excuse to make you say to be okay with not doing anything. So it's a tough one. You
Yeah.
have to keep on top of it. It is very easy. It's like any, you guys know, if you've started running or workout routines, what happens when you miss one or two of your routine? Then you just go,
Oh.
well.
It's so much
So,
easier to miss 3. It's so much easier to miss 4. And then it was remember when last year when I did that like workout for 2 days? It
yeah,
doesn't work like that. But yeah, and I also think that people don't realize how understanding clients can be, right? Our
yeah,
members were extremely understanding.
yeah,
Again, you picked up the ball on the mastermind trainings and stuff like that. I contacted some of the clients and they were like, of course, like no problem. We'll pick it up. Like as long as I feel like as long as people know what's going on, I feel
right,
like that's the most important thing, because I think what ends up happening is you kind of go, I need a break, or something
right,
personal happens, and then you don't communicate. And if you don't
right,
communicate, people are like, well, what happened? Did they just decide to stop doing their business? What's the situation? But when you communicate and you say, you know what, like I had somebody contact me for an appointment as an example. And I said, listen, like I have a personal situation that I'm dealing with. Can I talk to you when I get back? Absolutely. I contacted them when I got back. We had a conversation. There's no issue. People are very understanding
yeah, of
when you
course.
communicate and they know what's going on and they know the timeline in which you'll get back to them.
Yeah, of course. I mean, because it happens, everything, life happens to everybody.
Everybody. Exactly.
So, it's just, you can't just go at warp speed all the time when your personal issues that you have to take care of. I mean, that's just it, that is life. And
Yeah,
as you get
exactly.
older, there are more issues that come into
Well,
play.
and exactly. I mean, things can happen. Things can happen to your health. I know I had somebody contact me yesterday and they're like, I literally have been in bed for 2 days. I can't get you this information. And I'm like, okay, not a big deal. Like things happen. And again, it's just that understanding, right?
Yeah. So
So
anyway, so it's been very hectic, even though we
yeah.
haven't done this piece. We've made a lot of changes. We upgraded our community. We added some cool new stuff. For those of you who haven't seen us in a long time, we had our AI lab, and our AI lab mastermind is starting at the end of the month, and that was crazy good. Everyone was blown away by the information. If you didn't join us for even our Master Monthly on AI Labs, you can still see it if you join up our community. So join in the community and go to the AI Lab piece, and you'll find it in Master Monthly, and you can join us. Why? Because I think if you have been in that bubble, right, you've heard about it, but you haven't really, dipped your toe into the water yet, it's time, because things are changing rapidly. And you can, what we did in our workshop is all the participants started a brand new business just using AI, not related to their business. And by the end of the workshop, they actually had enough information to launch a new business. So that's how powerful it is. So even if you are a little bit hesitant, it's like anything. If you're hesitant or fearful, then you need to learn more about it. So, by all means, come into the community, ask questions, find out what it's all about. Don't be left behind, because if you are still doing some of the things you're doing on a daily basis the old school way, you are wasting a lot of your time, because you could really use AI to save hours and hours of what you're doing right now. So I can't stress that enough. And every time you turn around, it's getting more and more exciting. Did you watch the Apple event?
I did. No, just before we leave the AI conversation, I just want to say, yeah, I watched. Like I said, you're way more up on it than I am. I've got to feel like a little bit of catch up on the AI piece. But I feel like I just want to say, don't be scared to put something in, because the fun of it is literally just playing with it. You don't
Yeah.
have to know everything about it, but if you literally just go to one of the OpenAI platforms and just start typing in something fun. Like, I love the example that you said, I've got these random stuff in my fridge. What can I make? I love that example. So just play with it for fun, and you'll see it's like, holy cow. And then your creative juices start to flow of, how you can use it in your business. And that's what I love about the mastermind that's coming up, is because you really do understand the input to put in to get the input out. And I think that's the biggest piece that does happen, but there's a lot of fun to be had with it too, right?
Yeah, and a lot of people are, I like to think about it as, do you remember when, this is a long time ago, but when Google first started, people were afraid, they still are to some point, afraid to type in, right? They were afraid
Yeah,
to
exactly.
be like, there's no, like, just ask any question you want. It's the same thing with AI, with Chat GPT. Just go ahead and type. Nothing's going to happen. Your computer won't explode. Like, you're good. So you can type in whatever you want, and it's just, you might as well give it a shot. But I related it to the Apple thing because there's so much coming out. Like, their virtual thing is insane. About their virtual, what's it called?
I can't remember.
But like, to watch movies on that, I'm in. Like,
I know that looked very, very, very cool. Even some of the stuff that even before that, I was still kind of blown away by some of the new stuff that's coming out with their new iOS. I was like, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Yeah. But so a lot of it is like, they are already on that path. Everybody is. That's why when you use Siri or Alexa, be quiet, because Alexa always jumps up when I say it. Whenever you're using it now, that is AI, but now it's going to be like AI on steroids. And apparently, Google's coming out with a massive new one, not Bard, a different one. And that's going to blow everyone away. And then, Apple always cutting edge in terms of what they are going to put on their phones and their laptops. And so I can't stress enough for everyone to at least dip your toe in and find a little bit of information. As I said, just join the community. You can watch the masterclass, the first masterclass. For those of you who are part of our Mastermind City members or Plus members, the AI Lab Mastermind starts at the end of this month. And it is, we start with, you can watch the replay of the 4-hour workshop that we created new businesses, but going forward, we're going to be doing really cool things. Like, 1 month, we're going to all just write a book in 1 month, in like the session, we're going to write a book. And then, we're going to create a digital product, or we're going to create auto sequences, but we're going to go in depth. So the overview of Masterclass tells you what it can do. And then in our mastermind, we're going to actually dig down and go, okay, let's really dive into this one and see how we can literally write a book and set it up so that it's ready for Amazon print on demand. Like, it's literally ready. Like, we're going to do the covers, we're going to do everything, the titles, you name it, and then we're going to load it up. So those are the kind of things that we've always done in Mastermind City. We've always, when you take any of our courses, you can start your podcast, but that's your podcast from start to finish. So by the end of the course, you will have launched your podcast. You have launched your speaking career, whatever it is that you happen to be doing with us. So with AI, it's just basically what we're doing on steroids, right? It's going to make life a lot easier. I mean, we taught a master class on writing your own book and getting it published. This is going to cut that time in, I don't know,
I can't
1/100th of a time. I don't even know. So it's very cool. And we're going to show you each and every month what we're doing. So we're going to do the same thing you are. And if we're going to do a book, we're going to do a book and we're going to publish it. So you'll see our book, we'll see yours. We'll obviously promote it and do everything that we can for our Plus members. So join in. But as I said, you can access information for free. There's no reason for you to get stressed about it or scared about it. So go ahead and do that.
Yeah, it's I'm just blown away, I think, by the possibilities. But on a side note, it was actually really funny this morning. I saw somebody had just posted on some social media. I can't remember which one I was looking at this point, but it was an image, and it was a half-built building, and the second half had a wall, and it said, "ChatGPT, can you finish the building?" So I just thought that was really funny because obviously people are making fun of the fact that it feels like it can do everything. So I sent it to my kid who's in the trades, and he's actually in construction, and he thought that was really funny. He's like, yeah, you know what? I can't do it with your chat GPT.
Yeah, but you can get
Really,
ChatGPT to make you plans and tell you what to do and tell you the
yes,
steps, which is kind of cool, right?
exactly.
So, like ChatGPT can write you code
Yeah.
for your website. So that's massive. It can write certain AIs can write entire code for all your apps. Like there is so much that it can do. So it's here to stay. It's not going away, guys. It's just going to get bigger and bigger and more integrated. So why, sit there? It is summertime in Canada. It's the time that we kind of kick back. So it's the perfect time to sit back, watch a couple classes, join, a community that's talking about it and learn because,
And summer
I
is a
think,
great time to do that.
yeah,
I love doing that in the summer. I feel like I can kind of sit back and work on things, and instead of feeling so kind of, I don't know, just time constraint, I feel like you can
yeah.
kind of sometimes in the summer take us a little bit of a step back, and then you can kind of write some things, write some ideas, let those creative juices flowing, maybe while you're at the beach or sitting
Yeah.
outside
And
in
I
your
think
backyard in the sun.
it's a really big deal, guys. I mean, this is the time that even if you say to yourself, this is what I would do. I would literally block out, a couple hours in my calendar on one day and just say, I'm going to go watch the masterclass that Faye was talking about just to get your toes wet. Just that one little masterclass, that 1 hour will make a massive difference to your understanding. And you can, as I said, do it for free. So it's not like you have to invest except for time. And then if
True.
you really like it, you really think, yeah, I can do this, then yeah, absolutely join our mastermind. But I think it's important for everyone to say, this is the time, because what's going to happen? Summer's going to be over. September's going to come. For those of you with kids, that's
Or
hectic for
just the clients start
school.
back up again and your time gets less and less. So I think the summer is just the perfect time for that. And I love the fact that you said the word integrated, because I think that's the piece that isn't necessarily understood about the whole thing is that it's integrating into everything that we do. It's
Yeah.
not just a separate entity over here that you can go to the site and punch some things in. It's
Yeah.
literally going to be part of every program, every app, everything that you do in your business. It's going to be part of that.
Yeah, you're not going to get away from it, and you're not even going to notice, because when Google goes, all the way to bright and does everything they want, everything in your search is going to be AI. Like everything is going to generate AI responses and alternatives and more understanding. So um, it's fascinating, and it's cutting edge, and it's cool because you will be an early adopter. The fact that, again, we talked about in the masterclass, the fact that you've heard about it but haven't really done anything tells you that, like, and very, like, a little tiny little portion of the world has really heard about it, right? Like,
That's
think.
the crazy part.
And then, so for you to even be listening today, more than almost everybody in the world. So think about what you could do if you just, pick up a few things to help your business make a massive difference. So it's just, I can't stress it enough. Like I know a lot of you are sitting back because a lot of you came to our workshop that were still even hesitant, right? Even when you first came, you're like, I'm not sure if I really want to do any of this. Sounds like a lot of work. And then you realize that it's actually way less work than anything you've ever done.
Yep.
Then you will, completely change your mindset. So it's, like I said, the perfect time. And there is, I know that you're like, next week, next week. I did the same thing with a lot of my stuff, right? I'll start this next week. It's kind of like, I got quite a few DMs that ask me why I'm walking now, why I'm doing my 5K walk.
Yeah,
in
you
the
have.
And I just said, look, here's the thing. I knew that I tried a bunch of stuff, right? I'm a certified yoga teacher. That was my go-to. I just didn't find this year, and I don't know what it was. I couldn't find anything I liked. I tried every friggin' class that you could think of on Apple, on Netflix, on Beachbody, on YouTube. I did all these classes and I didn't like anything. I couldn't stick to it. And then I just thought, well, I have to do something because my naturopath said so. Because I have no energy. Like by 3 o'clock, I was dying. So I just said, okay, I'm going to pick something very easy and stick to it. Here's the problem. What was my first piece that I said? Don't have time. Right?
Right.
Number one, everyone says it. And I just
Yeah.
don't have time. And I truly didn't think I had time. And I did it in the afternoon where the slump happens, and it worked and it helped. And now I've been doing it in the morning. Why? Because when I know I really don't have time during the day, I'm like, okay, then I have to figure out when I can fit it in. And so I just get up in the morning, right, and do it. So it's kind of like this class. I know you don't have time. So pick an hour and just say, okay, I'm going to, regardless, I'm going to let something else go. Maybe I'm not going to watch Netflix, right? And I'm not going to take this hour and actually learn something as opposed to. So if you really want to do something and it comes down to what you value, and at the end of the day, I valued having energy to get through the day. I'm not trying to lose weight. I'm not trying to look better. I'm trying to get through the day. And so if I value getting through the day without being really, really tired, I'm going to walk. And if I decide not to value that anymore, I'll stop. So it's the same kind of thing. Do you value more time to do other stuff other than just working? If you do, if you value that extra time you can spend with the family or friends or go for a walk or whatever, then embrace AI so you can take back some of that time, because every single person that's doing it, including us, is saving time right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, just from writing everything. So when does the mastermind start? The end of the month?
The end of this
We'll make
month?
sure that
I don't remember. It's the end
I'll
of
try
the
to
month.
find the link.
Yeah, so go to Mastermind, the mastermind.city. Definitely, if you're not already a subscriber, subscribe. Go to the join for free or join membership, the link at the top, and join for free. So you get into our community, and then you have the first access to everything that comes out. You won't miss any announcements. You won't be left behind. I can't stress it enough. Just get on the list, right? Get on the list into the community, not just our general list, go into the community, right?
Yeah.
And you can set up your own profile. You can talk to other people or not, whatever suits you.
Exactly. And when you do join the community, under the tab at the top says free training and clubs, you'll see Master It Monthly, and that's where the AI Masterclass lives. So you can watch that.
Yeah, so there's no excuse, absolutely no excuse. Get out and do that. There's so many more courses and masterminds that we're doing as well right now. Like we're in the midst of, this week is still podcast. What's this week? Yes, it's podcast.
It is the second. Yeah. I know, because we work. I think that's the piece I always think about, like people who do things and then they launch, or like fashion. They create like the spring line back in like the winter. So we're always working ahead, right? Yeah. So that's why we're like, what week are we actually on? So yesterday I was actually working on the next 2 weeks. So I was just about to say that we were in video, but actually we're not.
No, we're not.
We still have the second week. So I was working on that yesterday. So this is the second week of podcasting. And then next week we're jumping into video, which again, looking back, we said video wasn't going anywhere. Video is here to stay. And now if I look at when I created that course, how many years ago? When did we start it? Like maybe 3 years ago. Yeah. Still extremely valid today, but even more so.
Right.
With, back when I created it was pre-TikTok days.
Yeah.
right? Before sort of Instagram came out and said we are a video channel. Reels didn't exist then. So now we've sort of embraced video even more than we did when I created the course. So now that course is probably even more needed right now because of video. The only difference that I need to go back and look at when I was uploading the course yesterday was 3 years ago, if you ask the question, do you do videos vertically or horizontally?
Yeah.
The answer 3 years ago was horizontal, right? Because we thought of YouTube, we thought of landing pages, we thought of people looked more at videos on their desktop. Doing videos on vertical videos were specific to social media, but any other videos were horizontal. And I was looking when I was uploading it, I saw that slide and I went, holy cow, I need to change that because now we live in a vertical world.
Yeah.
All the videos except for YouTube. There's still a place for horizontal, don't get me wrong, but they're specific. Right?
Yeah, I mean, if you're a YouTuber, like, keep going. And you can use different things to chop it up and make shorts and zoom in and stuff. So you can still do verticals, but YouTube is here to stay. That's not going anywhere. So
it will remain number one.
Continually growing. It is still the place where if you really want information, it's kind of like when you buy something and there's no instruction manual, where do you go? You go to YouTube because the instruction manual is there somewhere. Somebody taught you to do it somehow. So it's always there.
But those are horizontal. So I think it's before it was, you could take this horizontal video and literally put it anywhere. It doesn't work like that anymore because we are living, now if I were to show that and somebody asked me, should I shoot horizontal or vertical? My answer would be vertical.
Right. Unless you're doing YouTube.
Exactly. Or a landing page. Landing pages are still
generally horizontal. But it's interesting because the reason why I added in the AI Mastermind is because the AI piece is incorporated in absolutely everything now, right? So in video, like, we are working with a software developer who's creating an interactive video software for your phone, right? That is massive and will make huge changes to everyone's life to use. And you guys are going to hear about it shortly. You're actually going to be able to get on the wait list for it next week with us. So that's cool. But I mean, then after video, we're going into digital product creation. Well, that one, AI is going to completely change the ease of doing that. The basis of the course is still about your expertise, your transformation, how to do frameworks, all that stuff. But now you're going to cut time because rather than spending, a day trying to figure out the perfect title of your product, you're going to ask ChatGPT and say, hey, give me 10 titles that you think might go with this product and explain it. And then it'll give you 10. And I guarantee you will like one of them. Yeah. Which is the interesting part, because every time I do it, I always go, oh, I actually like that better than what I thought of. Right?
You will definitely like it better. Yeah.
I'm a very good copywriter, but it's very good. So all that kind of stuff we're integrating into all of our courses. And even though, so here's the thing, we talk about it specifically in specific courses we do, but the key is understanding the AI principle on its own. And then that way, doesn't matter what you do, whether it's you take our course or you take somebody else's course, you will know how to take that information that you're learning and incorporate AI into it. So that's why it's a standalone as opposed to adding it in. We will talk about it in all the courses, but the difference is, you guys, if you join our mastermind or you even take the small master class, you will be an expert in your field in AI compared to 99% of the people in your industry, because you will take that first step where they're going to be waiting, and maybe in 5 years they're going to finally go, oh, maybe I should do this. I mean, And it is even, I will say, what's fascinating to me, it's really the middle age group that's really jumping on it and older. It's not the youngest.
Right.
The younger crowd is they don't understand, I guess, the importance of it because they're not really haven't been in business for a long time.
Right.
So the more experience you have, the more you will understand the benefits. So if you think, oh, that's for, you know, this young TikTok crowd, it's not. It's
Because
not at all.
again, you go back to what you put in. So it's the
Yeah.
input in, and because you have the experience and the understanding to know your business, know your audience, and know the questions that they're asking and the information you want to provide, you can put input in. Better input in is better input out. I think the younger generation, what they're going to do, they're not scared of using it,
No.
but they don't have the experience. They're going to ask more general questions, which means they're going to get more general answers, but you're going to
Yeah.
be able to ask more specific questions, which is going to give
Yeah.
you more specific answers.
So I know we talked about AI this whole time, but I'm just so excited about it.
Yeah,
So really, I mean, we're hoping that this kind of spurred you on and said, okay, let me give it a shot. Can't hurt, right?
absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, we are very happy to be back. So I'm just going to quickly put up on the screen you go to that page, you'll see all of it, all the different mastermind courses that our platform has to offer, our community has to offer at this time. And you will also see the AI one there as well.
Yeah.
So that's a good place to go just to check everything out. But we will be here same time next week. And hopefully no more breaks.